Just get an IT guy in here, dude. Make sure our infrastructure works just good.
The Dashly Gentleman. And with me, I have Frank. Say hi, Frank.
Hey!
What's so funny, Frank?
I'm just like, I wish that I could give out an award for just phoning it in.
What do you mean phoning it in?
Yeah, I mean, that was
that was pure gold.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
It's Neil with the Dastardly Gentleman.
What is this fucking show again?
I mean, like, you might as well be like looking like doing the Trump, looking past it, like, we are so glad to be here today, where we have the reading off the teleprompter is hard.
Look, shut up, Frank.
What's up, Neil? How's it going?
Oh, just super.
I feel like you don't mean that.
Well, I mean, you know. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine, dude. You're fine. We're all fine.
Everything's fine. So, Neil, what you been doing?
I've been playing a whole lot of Hearthstone. A whole lot of that.
Can we talk about face rig?
Look. Yes.
It is the most amazing and useless, what, $2 I ever spent in my entire life. I have laughed nonstop with that stupid thing.
If you don't know what FaceRig is, it's a program on Steam that allows you to map your face to a CGI face and do stupid shit.
And it's great because, like, for me, because like I got a great big mustache, it always thinks that I'm smiling. So like every single character is like the whole time, like, I mean, like I glare and they're all
I can't not smile. I'm so happy.
Yeah, the only one that really works perfectly is the Velociraptor. Because he can't smile.
Yeah, dude.
I love it. It's been so much fun. I'm like, I put my kids in front of it, and they just don't completely understand what's going on, but then they kind of get it. And like, so like my daughter started talking to the screen, which was her being like this big elf, and she was yelling at it, and it was amazingly funny. Because she's all going and it's like you see like this perfect like Middle Earth elf making the most grotesque, horrible faces ever.
It's basically Snapchat, is what it is. If you don't know what Snapchat is, Frank. Snapchat is a little thing on your phone. You can do the same shit and send messages to people.
Like dick pics?
I mean, otherwise, what's the point, really?
I mean, so what is the difference between Snapchat and just sending like a regular text message?
Snapchat is basically pictures. It's got the filters on it. It's got the face rig basically on it as well. It's got the voice changers and everything. And apparently the whole gimmick about some Snapchat is that it only lasts for like, I don't know, like a few minutes and then it disappears.
Oh, so it's like ideal for dick pics.
Yes.
I mean, like, obviously that's what it's for.
But you know, oh look, somebody sent me his junk here. Let me just screenshot. Now
yeah,
I have it forever.
Dick pics forever.
That
should be a t-shirt. that should be a t-shirt. We have dick pics forever.
Wait, what?
The Brotherhood of Dick Pics.
Okay, took me a second there because I thought you said teachers, but you said t-shirt. I'm like, why would they do that?
Why wouldn't you do that, Neil?
Because you get fired.
Oh, were you talking about teachers? I was like, what the fuck is he on about?
Let's just start this over. Here, let me hit the restart button.
All right, can you pretend like you care this time?
Concede.
See, I see that a lot lately.
Really? Do you?
Yeah,
Do you see
I
that a
do.
lot lately?
I
You
do.
been playing some Hearthstone, Frank?
No, I've been watching you.
Okay, there it is. There it is. I hate you.
That's good. What are we talking about today, Neil?
We're gonna start off with talking about. Actually, I mean, the title of this podcast is current events in interneting. But we'll start with Star Citizen.
Oh my God, 3.0 is coming out.
Yeah. What's happening in 3.0?
They're adding more planets. They're adding landing on planets, so you actually can go into the atmosphere. There's more stability, and that's about all I don't really know about it, just because I don't want to read too much about it because I get too excited and I start to daydream, and I become useless because I just sit there and want to be like, what is it gonna be like? But they did come out where they were talking about purchasable real estate, where in order for you can buy plots of land on planets and asteroids, and then they started selling them like for actual cash. You can buy a redeemable thing whenever the game launches to be able to get real estate. And there's a lot of people that were having a moment about, oh my God, they're selling it for money. By the time that the game comes out, are we gonna be? Is there gonna be no land to get? And I'm like, how big this game is supposed to be and how many planets are supposed to be. There's literally no way for this game's populace to occupy the entire galaxy plus asteroids. It's just impossible because I mean there are trillions of kilometers of planet surface alone for you to be able to, set your shop up on. So no, there's no way that the present population would be able to buy enough real estate. I mean, if they did, they wouldn't have to worry about the other thing we're going to talk about, because the game would have so much fucking money. They would just be like, go away, everyone who's having a problem with this game.
Listen, can we buy Star Citizen with Bitcoin?
Yes. I mean, Bitcoin is it can be used for USD. Yes, you can.
Good.
I am concerned. So like, I know that the next bit is we're going to talk about Crytek, and I don't understand. I was under the impression that okay. Sounds like somebody stirred up a chainsaw in my backyard. Luckily, we got a house full of guns. I was reading about how Crytek is apparently suing Star Citizen because they're supposedly using the Crytek engine. And I was under the impression, from everything that I've read about the game and everything that I've experienced so far, that it was using its own engine. And apparently it's not. So I don't know how well that bodes for Star Citizen as a product in the future. And that concerns me.
So what do you think? Which direction do you think they go? They continue to use it and just pay royalties, or they would just scrap it and make their own engine?
Well, they scrapped it. They would almost probably never finish the game.
True.
So I think that what they would probably do is, the burden of proof lies with Crytek, that they have to actually prove that the game is using the Cry engine. If they can prove that, then okay. Then what they'll probably do is they'll probably settle out of court. Because there's too much money involved in the game right now. So they probably settle out of court. Crytek takes a chunk, and then they have to put the Cry engine logo up on their splash screens before the game loads, or in the very beginning in the title menu or whatever, somewhere where they can take credit for it.
Right.
I think that's probably like worst case scenario. That's what would happen. And I don't think it's something that's going to cripple the game to the point where like it's not going to be released. I think that like worst case scenario, the game goes forward, but it might not have as many features in it as initially desired until it starts actually making revenue through purchases. But honestly, the game makes so much money on a monthly basis. I can't imagine them running out of money, even if they had to pay Crytek. Let's just say they had to pay Crytek, like, I don't know, let's just be insane and say $60 million for the supposed use of their product, and then having to have the splash screen put on there. I mean, the game's made an unfucking reasonable amount of money so far, and the damn thing is not even out. It's still an alpha, and it's still making money hand over fist on a monthly and or weekly basis. So I don't know. To me, if I was Crytek, I don't know. I mean, I would go with just like a low dollar amount and then hope for the splash screen, just so people would be like, "Oh my god, this game was made on Crytek." And it's a beautiful game.
Well,
I mean, it's an unbelievably beautiful game.
Everybody knows about Crytek, though. I mean, they're not an unknown company.
Right.
I mean,
but you'd be surprised about, like, you know, especially like for devs, where like sometimes you can't tell like what the engine is. So like if they couldn't tell and they want something that's going to be looking comparable to Star Citizen, they could be like, oh, this was made in Crytek, and that's a fairly inexpensive and low starting point for most people. It's like UDK. You know, you can use the hell out of it, and it's freely available. But then if you're going to actually make something commercially, you have to pay for a license, and then you have to give them credit.
Right.
So I think honestly, like, I don't know. I wonder if they actually are using CryEngine. And one of the biggest reasons why is because I have a hard time believing that Chris Roberts, and with all his industry experience, is so fucking stupid that he wouldn't have been like, we're going to use CryEngine. Let's just use it illegally. I mean, let's just not worry about it. Let's not. I mean, fuck those guys. We don't need to pay them.
Right.
I don't know. That's what I mean. I have a hard time thinking that he would be that stupid.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think, okay, conspiracy theory incoming.
Oh Lord.
I think Crytek is just basically saying, hey, that looks a lot like our shit. I wonder how much we can fucking get out of these guys.
I mean, that's kind of what I think too, because I mean, like I said, from what I understand, they're using their own engine.
Yeah.
That was my understanding. And there's nothing in there. And one things that they said in the article is that the coding looked similar. And I'm like, similar? You know, I mean, is similar the same as using the same thing?
Right. Absolutely not. But
I mean, that's like being like, you know, is Sparth Nader and he uses a laser broadsword.
I mean, let's be real here. If Crytek wanted to, if they didn't settle out of court, they could probably put a cease and desist on this shit and delay the game for eternity, and it'll never get released. Or pay us this amount of money and we'll drop it.
Yeah, but I mean, like the fast route is to pay Crytek and tell them to go away. But on the flip side, if you get a cease and desist, then they actually are trying to make delays. Then you have the burden of proof rests squarely on Crytek, because they can Star Citizen can appeal it, and then Crytek has to prove their case that this is definitely a CryEngine product. And then if they lose that, then all of a sudden now you see Crytek having to pay Star Citizen money for reparations for all the shit that they cost them. True. You know, delays, legal fees, and then, you know, pain, suffering, and damages. I don't know if corporation can sue for that, but pain, suffering, and damages, just to say. And then next thing you know, there's like another 150 million in the pot. Whoop whoop! Make my universe bigger. Let's go for. Let's go for 5 quadrillion kilometers.
Well, so yeah, that's the Star Citizen news right now. Is there anything else we might want to talk about when it comes to that?
About Star Citizen in particular?
Sure. I mean, like, we've talked about Star Citizen quite a bit.
Yeah, we try to give like semi-regular pod show. We try to give semi-regular updates about the stuff that we read about it, but like I said, usually it's me and Kyle get like too incredibly excited, and then we literally will eat, sleep, and breathe Star Citizen for like a week, and it becomes distracting. So like I try to kind of like, you know, I dip in, I go, and then I kind of lean back out, because I'm afraid to get too deep, because I'll never come back out. The last time that we got like super deep into it, we were like hours into it every night, and it was great, but then, you know, you realize, oh, it's still an alpha, there's only like 3 things to do, and none of it means anything.
That, and you have a real life, you have a family.
I know, but I mean, Star Citizen.
You know,
Somebody's got to play second violin. Is all I'm saying.
Frank, how could you?
Not everybody can be. Not everybody can be Bobby Shaw. Somebody else has to play rhythm. You know, that's usually the fam.
Womp womp.
I wanted to play Shadow of War on stream this week, but I cannot find my PlayStation 4 stuff.
Man, that sucks.
I know. Well, I mean, I know it's here somewhere in a box. We're not totally done unpacking, so I mean, I know that it's present in this house somewhere. I just don't know precisely where.
How about you just buy it on Steam and play it on your super duper computer that somebody really awesome built for you?
I do. That's what I have it on. I have it on Steam, but I need a controller to play it because I'm not going to play it on a keyboard.
Why not? That's what I've been playing it on.
Yeah, I know, but I've been watching you and you're terrible. That's probably one of the reasons why, because I mean, I'd like to actually be good at it.
You have.
I totally watched you play it. You are so bad. You're like 10 feet away and you're like missing the orc, and I'm like, why is this the archery show?
Listen, that was like 10 minutes into playing the damn game.
Look, I'm just saying, I don't think you could hit water if you fell out of a boat.
You haven't seen me lately.
You've seen you lately. I'm a grown-up man. You come at me, mommy. Oh my god. No, really, you're bad though.
No,
I love you. I'm just kidding, dude.
Yeah, really.
Take it back, baby. Come back. We need to play Destiny. Is what we need to do.
Yeah, I'd really like to. Last time I tried, you yelled at me.
Yeah, because I didn't have it yet.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. You can't get ahead of me. Everybody else already did. I'll just play it by myself. That's why I play MMOs, to be alone.
True. I mean, you got a point there.
I know I do. I want to go see Star Wars.
Look, we're not talking about Star Wars, Frank.
I just want to throw it out there. I want to go see Star Wars.
We can't
just so
talk
everyone
about
knows.
it too soon.
I want to throw it out there on the record so that like we can cover my nerd street cred.
Your nerd street cred.
Opening night is what I'm saying. It would have been opening day, but where I live, they only do 2 showings a day.
Patty?
You should be. Dude, we have an advanced multiplex. There are 2 movie theaters.
What?
Well, 2 screens, in the same building. It's fucking wild, dude. I mean, bananas, y'all. Pan delirium.
Well, I mean, at least you don't have to fight for tickets because there's no people there.
No, we almost did. We definitely. There was a line, and I was ready to shiv a kid. Blood for the blood god, and one more open seat.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, Frank. You can't be doing that.
I'm in the back, and some kid's like, "I don't know. This movie looks like it could be okay." I go, my Star Wars movie.
All right, so moving on because we're not talking about Star Wars. Maybe later, when you're a little older.
When you're a little older, like when Neil's seen it.
Yeah, when I've seen it. Look, I know I'm selfish. I don't care.
That's okay. Dude, you know what we should talk about? If we're gonna talk about movies, we should talk about Battle Angel Alita.
I haven't seen much on it, but you go ahead.
Oh my god, did you watch the trailer I sent you?
I looked at the thumbnail. Does that count?
You are an absolute scumbag.
Yeah, I know.
You are the worst. So I love the idea that they're making one, but I don't understand it. I don't understand it because it's not. So I know I'm gonna say it, but it's not like Spirits Within with Final Fantasy where it's not all CGI. It is a live action movie with CGI characters, which is weird because it's James Cameron, so I'm just gonna assume that from here on to the end of his career that James Cameron is gonna use CGI people in everything because everything he's made since Avatar has all been CGI people. So I'm just gonna say forever and ever to the end of time, James Cameron is now the CGI director, and this is gonna be no different. And I love the original anime, and it seems to follow the same story. And it's got Christoph Waltz in it from Django Unchained, and I thought he was a great actor. Alita is anime style, and everyone else is normal, and I don't get it. Because, and when I say anime style, I don't mean that she's animated, because a lot of people in that show are animated because a lot of people are not real. She's got the anime eyes, but nobody else does in the whole fucking show.
Why
And it makes her look so fucking bizarre.
Why do you think they did that?
I have no idea. I mean, like, I'm watching this trailer and it feels so weird and unnatural, and I'm like, what is it? What is this that I'm watching? And then, you know, she's trying to be all like emotionally connected with some dude, and I'm like, man, you got like billiard balls for eyes. They're like, I'm like, I don't know how to deal with you. And then she makes battle face, and you're like, I would run, because I find her CGI induced battle face with the giant eyeballs completely emasculating. I am ready to just like run, this crying snot and shit, just weeing in my trousers, because she looks fucking horrifying. And I don't think necessarily in the way intended, because she looks like an abomination. She looks like the kind of things that Space Marines take up a crusade against. That's what I'm saying.
The big people must die.
I mean, she looks like she comes out of some kind of like horrible sci-fi alternate universe that I cannot comprehend and I must destroy. And it freaks me out.
It's an abomination.
I mean, it pretty much is. I mean, like, all I'm saying is that, like, when the trailer was done, I put on my helmet and I said, "Heresy," and I was ready to go fight. Because, I don't know. I don't get it. If you ever get a chance to watch it, watch the trailer, and it is incredibly bizarre. I don't know what the choicing was, because again, this is one of those situations where I wish I could have been in the room. And whenever they're like talking about character development or design, I wanted to be in the room whenever there's like some guy go, "Hey, you know what we should do? We should give her huge anime eyes. That'll set her apart from everyone else, because obviously our writing and directing ability is not going to be enough to make her different than everyone else. So let's give her the giant googly eyes, and like that'll make her different for realsies, though." I mean, especially, I think it's not that guy, because there's always one of those. The ones that I want to see are the looks on the faces of the people who are like, "Yeah, that's what she needs, is giant anime eyes." And then like, how did you come to that decision?
Which one of you disagrees with James Cameron?
I'm like,
you're fired. Pack your shit.
yeah, that's probably it. Just probably James Cameron was the first guy, and then everyone else was just like, "You made Titanic. We want money."
And the one guy
giant anime,
like, "That sounds stupid. Get the fuck out."
Boom, fired. You get to go work on the next Planet of the Apes movie. Damn it. You get to be on the next Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell production. It's a fate worse than death. Really though, let's talk about Mark Wahlberg.
Why do you want to talk about Mark Wahlberg?
Because he is the worst.
Hey, look.
He is the worst.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
I can't understand you. We can't be we can't be friends anymore. I mean, look, I was sitting at my computer. I was trying to do something fucking meaningful, and then this gaggle of idiots behind me that live with me were watching Daddy's Home, and they were hee-hawing like horses, big old dumb animals. And I turned around, I watched it for about 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, it's Mark Wahlberg."
I thought that movie was pretty funny.
I was fucking stupid.
You're stupid.
Obviously, maybe, because I mean, like, now at this point we're like 6-1. I don't know. I've never enjoyed a Mark Wahlberg movie. I can't think of one.
I've enjoyed most of his movies. I'll say that much. There's been a couple that are like, eh. Wasn't he
mustache of scorn?
Wasn't he in Shooter? He was in Shooter, and then he made a Netflix series called Shooter. He produced it after that.
Of course he did. I mean, he probably fed everybody on set with a bunch of Wahlburgers.
You know what? I've never had a Wahlburger. Have
I don't
you?
even know what they are.
Doesn't he have his own?
I hope they're delicious. Because at least there's something good that comes out of that stupid ass name.
Look, he's good. All right, I like him.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy that he was the last nail in the coffin of the Transformers franchise.
Well, I mean, that's if you watch Transformers.
I haven't seen it since the third one.
You gave it too many. I watched the first one, and that's about it.
I love Peter Cullen though. And then they stopped using Hugo Weaving for Megatron, and they started using the original guy who played Megatron. So now they have the original Megatron and they have the original Optimus Prime together. I mean, I'm like, what's funny is that like they have so many good Transformers, like they have the Transformers show, which is great, and then they have the Transformers video games, which are as amazing as the show. And I'm like, but your movies suck dick. I'm like, they're stupid. I don't understand.
More explosions.
I don't get it. Yeah, I think that like if we scaled back explosions by 70% and actually focused on what the fuck was actually happening, you'd probably spend a lot more time going, oh, okay. I wouldn't be good. It would just be more understandable.
I mean, I get it. Like, I wasn't a huge Transformers fan when I was a kid, so I was more into Ninja Turtles. But
which is also terrible.
Who are you? Why are we
Dude,
friends?
No, that movie was fucking terrible.
I'm talking
Both
about
of
the
them.
Show.
No, the show's great. No, that's what I'm saying. The shows are great. The movies are terrible. No, dude, I love the shows. No, the fucking movies were awful.
Yeah, I didn't even bother watching them. They look ridiculous.
I mean, it's basically Transformers, but a slightly brighter colored.
It's the same director, dude. Of course.
I know it's the same director, but I mean, like, was it really? Look, you would think that we're gonna do this movie in New York, but we're gonna blow up everything. So you think that I don't know. Do we need to have all these explosions in a populated city?
I mean, they did that in the Avengers.
Yeah, but the Avengers actually made sense.
Yeah.
I mean, look, these asshole turtles are fighting. Yeah, sorry, that's what was coming in my house. These asshole turtles are fighting ninjas, and for some reason, shit's exploding. Yeah. This is not really a shadow war anymore. It's pretty much just a war now. There's no spy or stealth. We just blowing shit up now.
Look, I mean, everything's got a shadow, all right.
I mean, yeah, until like maximum, and then nothing has a shadow anymore. I want Michael Bay to finally be able to get like his absolute joy and to direct a movie that is just planets exploding. I mean, like, I want him to just take planets full of CGI people, and I just want him to rampage wreck the shit out of them.
Do you think he might be able to do a good Dragon Ball Z movie?
You know what? I think of everyone in American cinema, he might be the only one who can, because he focuses on terrible stories, shallow character development, and ridiculous explosions. So I mean, like, if you take all those combined, that's basically all of Dragon Ball.
Yes, it is.
From start to finish. So, I know that people would get mad at me for saying that. Look, Goku is probably one of the worst characters ever written. He is Armstrong, and then am not Armstrong, am going to be Armstrong, and that is the end of his character. Like, he's just Armstrong. That when they were like deciding, like, who should our protagonist be, and they just drew like a series of muscles. That's Goku. And then they were like, well, the muscles, I mean, you can only pile so many muscles on top of these muscles. I know what we should do. Laser muscles. And then that's what it was. It was laser muscles from there out.
Let's make him on fire.
Let's make him, and then the laser muscles weren't enough, so then you put those muscles on fire, so now you have fire muscles. And it was just like a bunch of biceps flexing, and but I think he would be great. I mean, I think he would actually probably be more impressed and interested in the source material than the assholes who made the Dragon Ball movie. Because Michael Bay would be like, what do you mean the show has explosions? And then, like, he hits his erection, he blows his load in his pants, and then he sits down and he watches Dragon Ball Z for a while. and then he's just like, I could blow up a whole goddamn planet.
They do it on the regular.
Like, this is a show about blowing up planets. They leveled a mountain. They leveled a mountain. I can level a mountain. I can get the budget.
Yeah, man. Man, we should
pitch it to him.
We should make a petition.
Dude, I bet Michael Bay has Twitter. Just fucking tweet it at him. You should make the next Dragon Ball movie because you like to blow shit up, and that's all they do on that show. It's just periods of quiet and screaming at each other between blowing mountains up. That's all the show is. You know? 18 episodes of Spirit Bomb, and then you level a whole planet.
Look, we need all 1,000 listeners of this show.
Tweet it at Michael Bay.
Tweet it at Michael Bay. And you might be asking yourself, 1,000 people listen to this show? Yes, you're damn right they do.
Like, first of all, fuck you. Of course they do, because we're interesting.
And funny.
Nah, I gotta find Michael Bay on Twitter.
He's doing it right now.
I am doing it right now. You're damn right I'm doing it right now.
You're gonna pull the whole internet etiquette, dude, and post.
Yeah, and post. Tweet to Michael Bay.
Oh, he's doing it, guys. I'm watching him do it. You're watching him do it. Oh, a couple of us are.
You are. I feel very strongly that you are the only hope we have for a great Dragon Ball Z movie adaptation. I love you. Now.
Don't say I love you.
You can blow stuff up.
And also say our 1,000 listeners agree.
Yeah, you can blow all the things up. Okay, so I've tweeted at Michael Bay.
Alright.
I'm sure that's going to go really far.
Good job, everybody. We did it.
Alright, good. We did it, Internet! We did it! Woo! And then while we're at it, we should just send a message to James Cameron and be like, you need to downsize Alita's eyes by a good 70%.
At least.
I mean, like, I'm not saying like you need to make her squinty, but I'm saying that you definitely need to like take it from like here to like a respectable here. She doesn't have to be like the Mothman. I mean, she looks like it's like she's gorgeous, but it looks like she spent a little bit too much time in the little chamber where like what the fuck is his name? The Fly. You know? She started to become the Fly.
Fuck Jeff Goldblum, man.
That's his name. I can't remember his name. I kept wanting to call him the Grandmaster because last time I saw him was Thor.
Oh yeah.
He was the worst character.
Was he?
It was awful. I mean, that was the most okay, so no, not really spoilers, but he was the end credit scene, and it was the most disappointing end credit scene I think Marvel has ever had.
What?
Because he gets out and he's just literally all they did in the casting is they just looked at the character and they went, what's Jeff Goldblum doing? Because all he did was be Jeff Goldblum.
That's all he ever does.
I mean, yeah, I know he's not really an actor, but I mean, like, you know, it's all he was Jeff Goldblum. The best acting he ever did was in Jurassic Park, and that was whenever he was unconscious and he had to feign being asleep. And it was glorious because it was some of the best time that he wasn't talking.
You know, I put Jeff Goldblum on the same tier as Owen Wilson.
Oh, Owen Wilson isn't an actor either. He's just Owen Wilson.
He's the guy that says, wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. I mean, it's funny because you put him in dramatic movies and that's all I hear is every time he's like, you know, he's like, get the family out of here. All I hear is, wow. I guess like if we're gonna go that route, the same I would put the Adam Sandler's Gaggle of Maggot of Friends in the same category. Kevin James, David Spader, Adam Sandler, they don't act either. They are just those assholes in different places.
True.
You know what? And I think I'm gonna say right now, I think Adam Sandler deserves an award. I do. I think he deserves a medal for keeping unfunny comedians in work for years now. Because for some reason he has money to produce shit and he keeps putting him in things. And I don't know. God bless him. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he keeps it up because all of his movies are garbage. I mean, the last one I liked Hotel Transylvania. Everything else was absolute dog shit.
I liked Happy Gilmore. That was a good one.
That was literally his last fucking good movie. Yeah. Dude, that was like 20 years ago.
I know. I know.
How does this guy still have money? How does he make these movies?
Because people keep going back to watch this fucking movie and say, okay, maybe this one isn't going to suck. He has the potential. We've seen them. Oh, no. It's the same as his last 20 fucking movies.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, nah, man. I mean, he's got pretty much about the same rock-solid reputation as David Spader. What the hell his name is?
David Spade.
That's it, yeah. David Spade. All his movies are terrible, too. So, I mean, it's like you can bet money that as soon as you see Adam Sandler's name show up, it's going to be shit.
Yes.
I mean, you practically... I mean, that's not a stock you have to be worried about, is what I'm saying. Like, that shit will tank.
He even roped in Peter Dinklage, on that one movie.
Oh, Pixels. Like, one of the worst movies in history. I didn't even watch it. It's a video game movie I refuse to watch.
Yeah.
Well, dude, they had fucking Adam Sandler and Kevin James in it. And then they had Adam Sandler in it. Like... I put him in there twice. I know, because he's so fucking terrible, and you can see it every movie he's in now. Like, he's got that like lazy, I don't care about what I'm doing at all, soulless. Like, I was like, oh yeah, we got to fight him. No, Pixels, got it right. And that's him. That's him acting.
Yeah.
I mean, it just the whole time he's terrible. Ruins everything. Wasn't he in a movie with fucking Liam Neeson? Oh no, that was that stupid Seth, what the hell his name is, Family Guy, Million Ways to Die in the West. Yeah, that was it.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's like A Million Ways to Die in the West, and Liam Neeson was the bad guy, and I kind of want to see it because Liam Neeson is in it. And then they're like, from the creators of Family Guy. I was like, probably not then.
It was pretty weak. I laughed at it, but I mean, it was fucking toilet humor.
It's not my bag.
Yeah. You only prefer the higher society of comedy.
Nope, still Monty Python. Well, it's funny because I despise slapstick, but I love Mel Brooks and I love Monty Python, and I can never understand that.
I don't know. Like, they do a lot of parodies. I usually hate parody movies. Like Mel Brooks and the Zucker Brothers and stuff like that. Because I love Airplane. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
That movie's so good.
It's so funny because like when I was a kid, maybe it's stupid, but like that scene where like there's Roger and Victor and the other guy, and like they're doing that. What's our Victor? Roger. I fucking was in tears, and it still kills me every time. That scene is seriously never not funny to me.
Oh man, I have to watch that movie at least once a month.
You know, it's funny because like there are scenes in all of those movies that I didn't understand whenever I was younger, and like now that I've gotten older, I'm catching more of the jokes. Like whenever I was a kid and I first watched Airplane, and they kept saying that, so my mom was an alcoholic, so like when they were talking about that dude having a drinking problem, I'm like, I just don't find that all funny.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
And so like like he's like smash himself in the face. I'm like, that's so fucking stupid. And I didn't understand the joke, but then like I watched it whenever I was like 25. It had been years since I watched it, and it said he's got a drinking problem. He splashes himself in the face. I fucking about pissed in my pants because I was like, I got it now. I get it. Drinking problem. I mean, you can't fucking drink. I'm like, that's golden, and I'm so dumb that I didn't get it until like literally right now. Yeah, I loved it. It was just so stupid, but so funny. And the fucking blow up doll captain autopilot. Murders me.
Ridiculous. I mean, I love it, but
here's the thing I don't understand. So, like, Leslie Nielsen was basically he was like the '80s and early '90s Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand because Leslie Nielsen was funny, and he was in way more ridiculous roles. You know, Airplane, Airplane Two, The Naked Gun, and Dracula, Dead and Loving It. I mean, like he was in all of these terrible, stupid slapstick comedies, but they were all perfect. They're
Mm-hmm.
wonderful, like gems of comedy. But then you have Adam Sandler on the flip side, who's basically almost the exact same person that is just destroys everything he touches.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he went to the crossroads and rather than like talking to like, Satan, he talked to Stan. He just didn't make the right deal. Maybe he just said, I want to be able to make comedy movies. He didn't say, I want to be funny.
Well, no,
'Cause
okay, okay. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, because they're not the same person. They're totally different types of comedy. Okay, so Leslie Nielsen, he only typically was in movies, with the exception of like Scary Movie 3, which that movie was shit, but only in movies where the comedy had like one-liners, like crazy, like.
Okay.
He had jokes. They put him in situations where he could have that deadpan delivery, like, "Oh, don't call me Shirley," stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Adam Sandler, like, and I've always had this discussion with people where there's two types of comedians. You've got your people that tell jokes, and then you've got your clowns. Adam Sandler is 100% clown. He's
and not even a good one.
He's loud. He's obnoxious. He makes, fast movements and shit like that. He doesn't tell a whole lot of jokes.
He's the kind of asshole that you hire to entertain your kids for 45 minutes before you get ready to actually cut the cake.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, he's loud, he's obnoxious, he makes a bunch of like fast movements, he talks, and you don't really totally understand what the fuck he's saying, but that's okay because he doesn't know what he's saying either. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
he's like Dane Cook.
Yeah, Dane Cook's big thing wasn't really jokes; it was just being really loud and saying things quickly, and then you go,
"Yeah,
all right."
He was a storyteller, and then he just super exaggerated and made loud noises in between, which caught him on pretty quick, and then eventually people were like, "Oh, this is actually not really that funny. Why was I laughing?"
I remember I was working at Domino's, and whenever I first heard Dane Cook, and someone was like, "Oh, listen to this guy, he's super funny," and I'm sitting there, I'm like, nope, not funny. I gave him like a solid half hour, and I didn't even crack a smile. I'm like, no, I'm good. All right.
I mean, I'm sure he would be like entertaining at a party, like he would be the life of the party. But as like a professional comedian, I mean, if I were in the theater watching you, I might get caught up in the energy. Like, okay, so for example, like when I was living in Tulsa, I went down to the Looney Bin, and they have mostly amateur comics there. What?
Is that like the name of a comedy club?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, like, if you went down, laughed at a bunch of crazy people, that's fucked up, dude. They went down Looney Bin. He's just sitting there on the other side of the plexiglass, poking at him like fish.
Entertain me.
This guy didn't take his Thorazine. Watch him.
Yeah. So
what's wrong with you?
I went down there, and there was like 3 comics. I use the term loosely because they were awful. There was one guy that was playing the race card every single joke. It was funny at first, and then it got really not funny. And then there's
that's because it's tiresome.
Yeah, and then there's another guy that talked about weed a lot, and that was not funny, even in the slightest. And then they had like a professional comedian, one that actually tours. Never heard of him before, but he had a lot of energy. He was they called him the Raging Cajun.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that everywhere.
I know, right? Well, they called him that. I don't know. Well, he did have a Cajun accent, but his jokes were really played out. Like, they were jokes you would hear like 30 years ago.
Oh no! It's a refrigerator on him. Get the
Like,
fuck off the stage.
like he would compare like a white mom to a black mom and say, you know, black moms don't take no shit, you know, shit like that. It's like, yeah, they said that. Eddie Murphy said that like forever ago.
Yeah, it's like, did you just like watch other comedians, like old VHS tapes of other comedians before you came here?
But my point I'm trying to make is that while I was there in the audience, that guy had a lot of energy, and I was laughing my ass off at every fucking thing he said. And I'm like, oh my god, I think I got a new favorite comic. I go home and I look him up. He's got like 3 or 4 videos on YouTube, and I start watching them. I'm like, this is stupid. Why is this? Why did I laugh? I don't understand. Did I just get caught up in it?
It's funny because you say that, and I remember I went to I find myself almost immune to shit like that because like whenever we went to this opera, and it was a rendition of an old Greek play that they put into an opera, and everybody was super excited to be there, and they were like cheering at everything, and I'm sitting like, because they did it like all 50, so it's all doo-wop and shit, and I'm like, I literally hated the shit out of it.
Right.
Everyone's clapping. I'm like, why are you clapping? What's wrong with you people? This is garbage. And I'm like, I fucking paid money for this shit. And then and when I left, they're like, did you enjoy the show? No, it was fucking horrible. I sat through it because I had nothing else I could do. I'm 4 hours away from home. Might as well fucking sit here. And they're like,
yeah, man, freaking Frank Buzz Killington over here.
dude, I don't even care. I mean, that's why I'd like to be like, I would like to go to that kind of comedy club. Everyone's like laughing. I'm like, is this what it sounds like when plebs are happy?
Why are you laughing? Stop it.
I will have to let people know this is what it sounds like in our inner circles at the Oil Barons Club.
I can't with you, Frank. Mr. Buzz Killington himself.
Lies. I laugh at everything. It's not funny. And then I destroy it.
So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about, without getting overly political.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about net neutrality.
Or lack thereof.
It's in the news lately. It's been huge, the whole net neutrality thing. How well, as of today, or was it yesterday, the FCC voted to repeal net neutrality. If you don't know,
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, if you don't know what net neutrality is, it's basically, was it a federal mandate that all internet traffic be created equal? So that you can't say, oh, well, Netflix internet traffic should cost more than YouTube internet traffic.
Well, it was designed so that ISPs that would compete wouldn't be able to bottleneck your internet for certain providers that they weren't party to. So, like, if Cox owned stock in Netflix but not in Hulu, then if you were trying to watch Hulu and you got your internet through Cox, whenever you tried to load Hulu, it would cut your internet to 20%. So then, but if you streamed on Netflix, you would get the full broadband that you were actually paying for. So that was the purpose of net neutrality, to treat it like a utility versus making it, a luxury item, I guess.
Right. And you might be thinking, they would never do that. They already did.
That was the purpose.
They got busted for it, and that's why net neutrality became a thing. Because they were screwing people over. Like, oh man, we offer cable TV and these assholes are watching Netflix all the time? Screw that. Mm-hmm. Let's screw over Netflix so that you have to buy cable TV. Yeah, it's as devious as it sounds.
It really is. And I find it amusing at this, where isn't the head of the FCC the CEO for fucking Verizon?
Yeah, he got elected, or he didn't get elected. He got moved into the FCC during the Trump administration transition.
I'm like, are you fucking like? Yeah, I'm like, does anybody ever know like what conflict of fucking interest is in this country anymore? I mean, like, look, I mean, have the piece of legislation, fine, But whenever the dude that's putting it forward noticeably has something to gain from it, I mean, I think that there should be some kind of balance, at least in the room, going like, nah, Jerry, I don't think you can do that, because you're obviously doing a thing that is just for you, if I'm going to be totally honest. I mean, because, I mean, you know, so it's like we take internet, so we want to make it so that, you know, internet can be bottlenecked at the ISP's discretion wherever they want it to be, but then like have like the person in the room who is going to make money literally off of this by people switching services so that you can have the best kind of internet, like equally, I guess, would be like, yeah, we should definitely do it. Net neutrality. It's just destroying big internet companies. I think you might be making shit up. I think maybe you are trying to line them pockets, if I'm going to be totally honest. And that's, to me, that's not even being political. That's just being like a realist. Because, you know, if you go into the room and the one guy that's trying to like pass bills for locally for pubs is the only guy in town who fucking owns a pub.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, yeah, of course he is. I mean, run him out on a rail, really, or just tell him no. Fuck, somebody say something. I mean, Jesus.
Or don't let him be in charge of decision making.
Yeah, who does that? I mean, like, you need to. The whole purpose of having different boards like that is to be able to make impartial decisions. But whenever you take somebody who is going to objectively make money off of making positive decisions for himself, because should you really let him be in charge? Should you let him even be on the board? And again, that's not even being political. That's just being straight up realist. I mean, like, that's for any level of government, regardless of what it is. That could be state, local, federal, whatever. I mean, you take somebody who has the most to gain, and then you give them the most leverage. Why? Why would you do that? The whole purpose of this committee is to have that not fucking happen. That's why it exists.
To be impartial.
Yeah, when I read the decision, like when I saw his appointment during the transition, I was like, well, there goes net neutrality. Was the first thing I thought, and you know, it was a year later, and now it's gone. Of course it is.
There's also been talk about, well, it's still obviously way overwhelming in terms of the support towards net neutrality when they did polls and stuff from the public.
Yeah, but they don't care.
they don't care, for one, but for two, they had come out and made bot accounts for the repeal of net neutrality. Like, look, these few people over here said, oh yeah, it's destroying the internet. So we're gonna go with these people. I know it's like, you know, 8%, even though we made those accounts and they're all bots. But yeah, I think these people should have a voice too.
This is like this like harkens back to like a previous podcast that we did where we were talking about paying robots salary and then taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that. Those bots have equal rights too. Oh, well, I mean, now you can't delete those accounts because now you've effectively given them citizenship. So, thus starts the machine crusade. Heresy. We need a heresy button.
Ah, man, I should. I'll make one.
You'll have to.
Yeah, a little sound effect.
Heresy.
So that's what's happening. As of right now, obviously, the FCC voted to repeal net neutrality. It was 3-2. I'm not going to get into specifics because it'll get political. But it's
smart.
It still needs to go to the Supreme Court because obviously there have been some complaints.
Just a smidge. I mean, do like you know, not riots, but you know, do like organized protests count as complaints? Because I mean, like just a smidgen of complaints. Because I feel like there's a lot more than a smidge at this point.
Just a smidge. I mean, let's be real here. If they get control of the internet, it's time to go outside, folks, and play stickball.
Time to play stickball.
Because all your money's gonna go into that shit.
I mean, it's already really expensive. Like for the internet that I have to pay for here, I guess 75 megabytes a second, and it cost me $140 a month, and that's fucking outrageous to me. Maybe just to me. I feel like that's insanely high.
It is, but you do live on a farm in the middle of nowhere.
That is true.
So they do have you by the balls. But I mean, that's basically the motto of internet service providers. We have you by the balls. What are you gonna do? Not have internet? You can't.
I always just wanted to be like that guy that's like, you know what? Fine, fuck you. I'll send a raven. Yeah, that's what, we should bring it back. We're gonna start sending ravens to each other. That'll be our podcast. It'll just be like you sitting in front of like an Etch-a-Sketch while somebody like hurriedly takes your picture of you reading what I said to you on a raven.
Nah, man, we just gotta get together and get a loudspeaker and tell people, hey, come listen to us.
Come listen to us. What are you writing?
Or we might actually have to get an actual, radio station.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But then
I don't know if I could do that.
FCC would get involved in that shit too.
Yeah, they'd be like, the DG's getting too big. Gonna have to regulate them. They're gonna have to switch us from FM to AM. Nobody listens to AM.
Well.
Wow.
So, you're kind of cutting out here a little bit, Frank.
How about now?
You're okay now, but you got all robot-y a second.
Oh, I'm back. Beep boop.
Kind of.
Beep boop. It's because I'm ow. Oh, I'm fine. It's because when I watched Star Wars, I went more beep boop now.
Saying help.
Saying help, beep boop. Dying.
Yeah, you're still robot-y, but it's okay. It's about time to wrap it up anyways. I mean, we had so much more we were going to talk about, but we'll save it for the next one.
Yeah, dude, because we got off on movie tangents, and that's the kind of tangents I like.
That took like a half hour.
But it's all right, because it was good. It was fun.
If it takes us a long time to talk shit on Adam Sandler, by golly, we're going to do it.
By God, we'll do it. So help me goodness.
All right, let's get this outro going here. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. If you liked what you heard or saw, or however you're digesting this, VR feel.
If you watch this in VR, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for you having to be next to me.
Please rate, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Send me crisp $100 bills.
Send a raven.
From a raven. Hopefully that raven doesn't take them in to buy drugs.
Dude, that would be... No, never mind. I have visions in my head now that are really funny, but I will keep them to myself.
They're probably not funny.
No, it's funny to me, Neil, okay?
That's all that matters.
Using a raven to tip a stripper is definitely funny. It's funny.
No.
Shut up, you're trying not to laugh. I can see your stupid face.
I'm trying not to laugh at your pitiful attempt at humor.
No, it's not. It's just in my head it was funny.
I bet it was. Anywho.
Good, I hope you die.
Rude, dude. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again next time. But until then, we'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Do your robotic goodbye.
Goodbye. Beep boop. Look at this folding grave. If gedaan do it to make me laugh. Yeah, dude, that's how I roll.